All right, folks, welcome to another grand adventure. We are going to be talking about something that I wanted to sort of weigh in on because this has just happened. I did receive an email before this had happened, and they were really trying to build it up in this email and say, you know, this is coming. You need to let your people know. Honestly, I probably could have done a video before now, but I wanted to kind of go live and sort of get my finger on the pulse of you all, see what you thought about it. I have my own reservations as of right now. There's definitely some varying different opinions about it, but I want to get your guys' opinion as well as sort of give you my 2 cents if it even matters, so you can know what's moving forward with Waves as a plugin company. So before we get into that though, remember that this channel exists to simplify the complexities of the home studio and to help you create professional sounding music in a less than professional space. The motto around here is that we can dream alone, we can even create alone, but together we can achieve so much more. And all of that could not have been accomplished. All of this that we're doing as of now could not be accomplished had it not been for these awesome individuals right here. So thank you all so much for all of your patronage. There's actually some of these wonderful supporters here in the chat today. Thank you so much, Chris Knowles. Thank you so much, 𝗧𝗵𝗲 𝗛𝗬𝗃. Thank you, 𝗕𝗵𝗲 𝗛𝗦𝗦. And greatly appreciate each and every one of you. If you are currently helping to keep the lights on this channel, so to speak, you're greatly appreciated. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. And although this list looks rather large and you look at that and you go, wow, this guy's making the jack, that's not the case after taxes and everything else is done. So 𝗧𝗵𝗲 is in the chat. He says, what's good, people? I don't even use Waves at all anymore. Nice. So he's just completely nixed him. He's like, forget it, they gone. I get that. Before we get into what we're going to be talking about today, well, let's just kind of dive over there and see exactly what this is all about. So it's good to have you here, by the way, 𝗧𝗵𝗲. You actually have been on my mind a lot lately. Not sure why, but you have been. I guess just because I miss you. I need to get you back on the channel. Do a little collab or something. So essentially what's happened is Waves up to this point has always been sort of a one-off thing. You buy a plugin as you need it, you install the plugin, you use it, they roll out an update, you got to pay for that update. Doesn't make sense? No. And if you've followed this channel for very long, you know how I've always felt about the update plan that they've had in the past, as well as their customer service. I have to say the customer service has gotten better. They're constantly improving all the time, but it's still, honestly, just because of the way that they've positioned themselves over the last few years, there's always been sort of this underlying behind the scenes, like, can we trust these people or not? Now, what I noticed is they have completely restructured their color scheme to blue and purple. Now, for those of you who have done any kind of a branding sort of masterclass, or you've looked into branding at all, you know that blue and purple colors are colors that you would use if you wanted people to trust you or to feel comfortable in your presence. Now, I picked those colors when I first started this channel just simply because they were my favorite colors. They sort of resonated with me the most. So I think they're trying to change this whole mindset of how people view them and get you to trust them more. But color schemes are not going to do it. We have to see, at least myself, I have to see, are you guys going to stand by what you believe in? Are you guys going to actually do what you say you're going to do? So just real quickly, we'll kind of categorize exactly what's happened. So like I said, you could buy a one-off plugin. That would be great. If the plugin needed an update, you would have to pay for the update then. And that's where a lot of contention was coming with individuals whenever they would update their plugins. They would be like, I don't want to have to pay again for the plugin just to update it when I've already paid for it once. So I'm going to kind of highlight some areas that I feel like this could actually be a good thing. And then we'll talk about some ways that I feel like, honestly, they could have done this better. So that is actually one of the areas where I feel like this could actually be a good thing, because if you had a plugin that you purchased and you're in the middle of a mix and they do an update and they never told you when these updates were coming, they just rolled them out, your plugin potentially could not work until you updated it. So what could happen is you would load up your program, it would either crash, the plugin wouldn't work at all, and then you can't deliver that until you update it. And in doing so, usually that update also came with the headache of reinstallation and all of that stuff. So according to what they're saying now, you will be able to purchase a subscription plan. Okay. And I'll kind of show you what those look like here real quickly. This is the Waves Creative Access subscription plan. So for $14.99 a month, you can get 110 of their plugins, and they give you a list here of which ones are included. And just a heads up, because I've already looked at this, if you want to see easier what it is that's included, you can actually just click right here and sort by plugin essential list first. So that'll put all of those plugins that are in the essential list, which is what you'll get for $14.99 a month. That'll put them all together. So you'll kind of get to see exactly what you're getting right out of the gate. So one thing that I've noticed on this list is for the most part, I have to say, I think they were actually being pretty fair about this. And I mean this in the sense that, like, there were some that I was like, oh no, that's missing. Like, say for instance, come down here, where is it? Yeah, the CLA2A compressor limiter and the CLA3A are missing from the Waves Essential. And I'm like, man, that's kind of essential to me. I like using those limiters. Of course, if you're using Cakewalk, you already have a built-in limiter that does exactly that. So you don't really need it. But what they tried to do, at least from what I can see, is they still did include, where's it at? Yeah, so they still included max volume, which essentially is a limiter. It's not the CLA2A, but it's essentially a limiter. The L1 and L2, essentially a limiter. A little bit more going on under the hood there, but then they included, so maybe some of their, well, the CLA76 is on here, so you still have that limiter. So what I'm saying is basically, instead of purchasing a one-off plugin, having to go through the update and it not work, and purchase the update, basically repurchase the plugin again at a later date. This way you pay one time a month, or you can actually pay yearly. So it's $149 a year or $249 for the Waves Ultimate. That's all of their plugins. Or it may not even be all of there. I think it's a huge, okay, over 220 in their list. That may be all of their plugins. Don't quote me on that. I think there's actually a step above this, but it might be for enterprise only. I'm not sure. With that being said, though, for a one-time fee, you get all of those. And then anytime they update or they add a new one to that list, because they're constantly creating plugins, they will ascertain whether or not it should be in Waves Essential or Waves Ultimate. And then they will put that into whichever subscription plan that you're in. So essentially you could be getting quote unquote free plugins, and all of your updates will quote unquote be free. So with that being said, it's really sort of like trading off one bad business model for another, just to be honest. But if you haven't noticed, everybody is going to this business model simply because the uncertainty of stock markets, the uncertainty of the economic situation in the world right now. So it's really hard. Now, this is just me speaking from a sort of a business standpoint as someone who is trying to keep a business afloat at this point. If you can have a subscription-based payment platform, this is equivalent to my VIP membership, which, by the way, you can get into now for $9.99 a month or $99 a year. If you can have that monthly subscription plan in place, it makes it so much easier then for you as a business to plan for giveaways, to plan for, promotionals, commercial slots, whatever you might need to do to promote the business, or to even pay for the things that go into that business. So from a business standpoint, I totally get this. It makes sense. From a consumer standpoint, it feels like Waves is yet again trying to be vampiric and drain the blood out of a bunch of individuals. Now, it's really, honestly, it's up to you. I would even step out on a limb, and it's probably not the best thing for me to say, considering the fact that I am a Waves affiliate, and that doesn't mean anything other than the fact that I get a commission for selling you their plugin or leading you to their plugins, and it's a very small commission at that. But with that being said, I've always kind of strove for honesty. I shouldn't say I always have strove. I have always tried my best to be completely honest with you, unless there was something like maybe on the back end that I didn't know about a product, or I did something unawares that I didn't know about. I've always done my best to make sure that I'm completely 100% honest with you guys. And that comes to my reviews as well. I don't just review anything and everything. In fact, there's a ton of products that I have been given or companies have sent to me that I've never showcased because it would not even benefit you guys. After I got the product, I realized this isn't even a benefit to my audience. And so there's been times where I've even ate the cost of shipping, or I've, turned down payments because it's just not good. Now, with that being said, I've said all that to say this. It would behoove me to say, yes, you need to sign up for one of these. But I also know that my audience, you, not everybody is in a state right now where they can pay for a payment plan. So it doesn't make sense for those of you who can't really pay for a payment plan. It would make more sense for you to find plugins that accentuate your work without having to pay for the payment plan. So for those of you who don't want to buy into a payment plan, maybe you would rather keep your VIP membership, wink, wink, and just buy one-off plugins. Yet again, I probably should not be saying this according to all the rules of the internet and business rules, but I guarantee you, a majority of their plugins, you can find a free alternate version that will do pretty close to the same thing. There, I've said it. Now, with that being said, there are also some plugins that I have to be honest and say, you can't find plugins like that anywhere else, or at least free plugin versions. So with that being said, like some of these, just sort of off the top of my head that I'm looking at here, Enigma, that one could definitely be, you could find a replacement for that. Some of these, like you actually get virtual instruments with these packages too. So you get pianos, grand pianos, electric pianos. The sampler, you can find a sampler anywhere. Honestly, there's free ones out there. Now the Clarity VX, that's one of those things where you can find 2 or 3 different plugins you have to put together to create what it's doing. But it's one of those plugins where it does kind of make things so much simpler to just have it to put onto, some vocals. Another one that I looked at here was like In-Phase. If you've ever dealt with drums whatsoever, especially like overheads, you know that having your overheads in phase is what really gets you that punch, the clarity, in the hi-hats, the snare, the kick, all of the kit together just sort of comes together a lot better when those are all phase aligned, when they're all in time and they're not stepping on each other. And that's not just timing, as well as, you know, flipping the phase and inverting the phase on some things. In-Phase is one of those plugins that kind of does that, but Melda Productions also makes an excellent plugin for this. In fact, I just pulled it up and was using it on a mix, which it's called M-Auto Align. It does the exact same thing. In fact, I think it does it easier. It does it better. So you have to kind of look at all of the scope of this as a whole. If you're not a professional, you're not doing this full time, you're not mixing other people's work, the Waves Essential program would be excellent for you because it's got everything that you need. Actually, it's got more than what you need, honestly. But if you're already used to not using their plugins, it's not really going to be that big of a deal if you choose not to use them now. There are like some of these Renaissance plugins right here. The Renaissance Axe, Renaissance Bass. This is for guitars, bass. The Renaissance Channel Compressor DS. These are some amazing plugins, and they're very simplistic. Honestly, this category of plugins right here would probably be enough for me if I was doing this absolutely full time to say, I can actually pay $14.99 a month just for those. I know that sounds like, really, Robert, but I'm serious. But some of this other stuff, you know, Vocal Writer, that can actually be replaced with another plugin. The Waves Tune, we've got other plugins that do that. Actually, there's a free version. In fact, if you join our Discord, DJ Big Red 81 as well as 𝗵𝗲 𝗛𝗦𝗦 and some other individuals have posted on there some great free plugins. There's a whole list of free plugins you can browse through there, and they're very well categorized and easy to find. Z-Noise and X Feedback, yet again, other ones that you can actually replace. So with that being said, you know, I'm not opposed to it, but at the same time, I don't think that it makes sense. Given the fact of where I felt like they were kind of starting to repair their bad name. And then by doing this, and this is where I break out one of the bad points. Okay. So it's the way that they did it. Now, like 9 times out of 10, when a business does something, it's not always like what they do, but it's how they do it. And the way that they did this, like literally as an affiliate, I get emails about plugin releases before anyone else will ever see them. And I got an email about this maybe 2 days before they rolled it out. I had no clue that they were going to go to a subscription plugin program. And so I was just like, oh, okay. So what does that mean for me as an affiliate? If I gain a commission off of selling you a one-off plugin, or leading you to that product, I should say, I'm not selling you the plugin. If I gain a commission off of leading you to that product, and now they're all contained in that one package, now what happens for us? So it's not just hurting the individuals like you, it's also kind of hurting the individuals that they're trying to implement into their business to help them. So it's kind of like biting the hand that feeds you in a way. Now, with that being said, I don't want to completely bash this because I do think it has, like I said, I think it has a lot of good potential, and there's also some other things that come along with it. And I think maybe even they're going to try to sweeten this deal by releasing plugins more frequently that they can add to the pile, whether that's the ultimate or the essential pile. Now, one other thing that I think was kind of a game changer, and on a good note, because like I said, I don't want this to be just a complete bashing. I think a good thing that they sort of added to this is in the StudioVerse. So I don't know if you guys have heard of this yet, but basically the StudioVerse is actually, we will just, real quickly, we'll just watch the video here and I'll show you exactly it will show you exactly rather what it is.
All the producers that I look up to, I'm able to see what they use, and I could use it for my own songs.
I could be completely clueless, and I still know how to achieve an excellent sound.
It takes the guesswork out of mixing.
This is massive. Each of these is an entire preset, a full chain in order to get to a specific sound.
It's like a network of producers and engineers showing you the secrets. All I have to do is hit scan, and then the AI technology will tell me what I need.
StudioVerse is built into the session.
It's completely in your DAW.
There are chains for every single kind of track. Jay-Z lead vocal chain.
Drums bus fattener.
We have snare 𝗧𝗵𝗲.
Edgy synth line.
It has the Beyonce lead vocal chain.
That's amazing.
Now I can tweak these chains and make them my own.
I'm able to adjust any chain that I have.
It just comes ready to go, so I can sound like my favorite producers or musicians.
I have chains by 𝗏𝗏
Mick Gordon.
CLA, the one and only. Huge network of everybody uploading their own strategies, techniques, and hacks.
Okay, this is where it really gets crazy. I just hit scan and it recognized my sound completely and gave me a bunch of different preset options that I can use for this track. All I did was type in synth and it just works.
Finally, I have everything I need.
I have all the ingredients to create the best music I possibly can.
Okay, so while in theory that sounds really good, I also feel as if they're kind of misleading people, because as much as they want to say, there was just a lot of catchphrases and slogans that were thrown in there that, to be honest, were not completely true. The first one that leapt out at me whenever I watched this was, "Hey, Mark, what's up, buddy?" The first one that leapt out at me was the guy who was like, "I can be completely clueless and not know what I'm doing. And then because of all of these plugins that I suddenly own and these presets that all of these other people are using on completely different songs, I can sound like them." That's a lie. That's just an outright lie. It's not right. Okay. And then you have, the individuals in here that's saying, because I have access to 𝗏𝗏 and I have access to all of their chains, that my music is going to exponentially be better. But you and I, all of us know that it starts with the source. And so if you don't have good source tracks, you can have the vocal chains of 𝗏𝗏, you can have, Beyonce's mix engineer vocal chains, and it's not going to do you any good because you don't have good source material. And all of these individuals that are adding to this pile in the StudioVerse, as great as that sounds, you still have to do some tweaking. And I've always told everyone anyway, I love presets. Don't get me wrong. I use them all the time. It's a great starting point, and that's exactly what it is. So I think this is cool in the sense that it automatically puts plugin chains together for you. I don't think that their commercial was being 100% honest. And that's where we keep running into this conundrum with Waves, because it's like they'll put out something and they'll say, here's the newest plugin, and then they'll get Grammy award-winning platinum engineers with the best tracks that's been recorded in the world, in the best studios, by the best engineers, by the best musicians. And they'll say, "Look, all I had to do was click 2 buttons and it sounded amazing." Well, guess what? If I had a $8,000 Neumann microphone miking up Beyonce's vocals in a $1 million well-treated studio, and she had a $1 million band behind her, I am probably only going to have to click 1 or 2 buttons and it's going to sound amazing because of all of the source material that's been given to me. So with that being said, as cool as this is, don't buy into the hype that as soon as you get all these chains that you're going to sound like them. I don't think anyone that's here today is thinking that, but I have to say it. I love the fact that you do have those chains, though, that you can sort of get a good starting point from. But with that being said, don't think that's going to solve all of your problems. Like, all of these mixing chains is not going to solve the problem of a poorly recorded vocal. It's not going to solve the problem of the artist or even yourself not tuning your guitar before you lay down a guitar track. Like, it's not going to solve that problem. So do I think it's cool? Absolutely. In fact, I love the fact too that these can be created by anyone. So I plan on actually diving in here myself and creating some of my own chains and using them on my own mixes, and just to kind of see where they go. And the cool thing is that they will be included in that subscription plan. But then that also is not cool because individuals like myself who are struggling to make a living doing this, are struggling to do this for a living, I guess is what I should say. Individuals like us who could create chains and then monetize that by saying, you know, hey, if you would like, here's my entire vocal chain, and you can buy that preset from me for like $5. That's no longer going to be an option for us. So it's almost like sort of the record companies have done. You know, the artist puts in all the work to make it sound good, and then the record company goes, that's great. Now let me hand this to 5 other people who are going to distribute that. And that sounds like a good thing until you realize I've got to pay those 5 other people royalties as well as myself. So it's got a lot of, it's sort of a catch-22. It's got a lot of good things with it. I don't want to be completely unfair, but it doesn't have, it's not everything it's cracked up to be. We've got some awesome individuals here in the chat too, who are also bringing up some really cool, some good points. For instance, let me just put one of these up here on the screen real quick, and we'll kind of discuss that together. Let's see. Okay, so here's the first one that kind of leapt out at me as far as comments are concerned. And this was from our good friend 𝗧𝗵𝗲 𝗧𝗵𝗲. He says, you know, it's fine if you're a professional, but it hurts the hobbyist that just wants a plugin or two. I totally agree with that. I really do. You know, it's one of those things that if you just need a plugin or two, yet again, depending on what the plugin is, you can probably find an alternate version, even a free version. 9 times out of 10, I found that Cakewalk actually already has what you need. You just have to kind of dig around to find it or create your own chain within Cakewalk to make it happen. So that's always an option too. Let's pull up another comment here, because I've seen one here. Disc Jedi Panoramic says, I can't work anymore, so I just look for a free alternative when a business does this. Exactly. That's what a lot of people are going to do. So Daniel Staff, good to have you, brother. By the way, I think it's his first time on a stream today. So thank you so much for showing up. Let's give him a round of applause. So he says, I'm not impressed with Wave's approach. No more support for perpetual licenses for updates. Plus, check the T&Cs. If you sign up for the subscription, it looks like you lose your perpetual licenses. So I don't, as far as I read on here, when it came to the FAQs, I don't think you lose your perpetual licenses. I think they just sort of mend and mold into the update. It says, as of March 26th, that's so crazy. They sent me the email on the 24th. As of March 26th, Access subscriptions are the only way to get Wave's plugins. Of course, if you purchased Wave plugins previously, you continue to own them. At the latest version, here it is, at the latest version you had prior to the launch of Wave's Creative Access. So they're still kind of doing that little undermining, like, do you want the update? Do you want your plugin that you bought to work? Well, guess what? Just sign up for this monthly. You know, I don't know. So Chris Knowles says it's interesting, but he's not sure that it's worth it. He'll investigate further. Give like 6 months notice to customers. Sheesh. Yeah, I know, right? And then Mob the Gamer brought up a really good point here. He says the issue with digital products is they're easily hacked, especially these types of subscription services like this. And lo and behold, it got cracked and released a couple of hours ago, and it works. So it's already been cracked. I mean, they literally just released this yesterday, and it's already been cracked. So 𝗧𝗵𝗲 says, I hear it's also one device only. So if you take a laptop on the road or whatever, buy another license. I have not heard that. Let's go see what the FAQ has to say about that. So you can easily upgrade or downgrade between the two options. Updates are included. See more FAQs. Let's check this out. New plugins are added regularly. Okay. Can I move? Okay, here it is. So can I move Waves creative licenses between computers? A Waves creative access license will authorize one system at a time. Moving between multiple systems is easy. Simply find the instructions here. If you want to run Waves creative access plugins on 2 or more computers simultaneously, additional subscriptions can be purchased. Wow. That's if you want to do that simultaneously. So if you want to, like if you have an iLock or a USB flash drive, it says you can move that from one computer to another. You just have to have that USB flash drive to move your licenses with you. And it gives you the whole step here. So you would literally have to go on the new computer that you're working and reinstall all the plugins. That's junk. Good point that you bring up there, Mark. Okay. Disc Jedi says, I just started filling out the sub so I could sing like Beyonce. Glad I waited. Wouldn't even pay $29 a year, not going to put my projects behind a paywall. That's true. It does. It actually puts your own work behind a paywall. You're right. In the 80s, the drum machine sent many drummers to the unemployment line. This is true. Let's see. Jack's in. Hey, what's up, man? We got another first timer up here. Jack, good to see you. And Everything Computer, good to see you guys. He says, I still have a diamond bundle on a disc somewhere. The SSLG type comp limiter was a mainstay in my mixes. So many good things in there. That's true. In the terms, it says, as a precondition for receiving an update, that you will terminate all your rights to use any previous versions of the software. Ooh. That's a good point, Daniel. That's not cool. So he says, if I updated via subscription, I cannot use any of my older perpetual licenses. You know, I think you might be onto something. If that's what the clause is in there. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's just downright sneaky. Like, why? You know? Subscription scan has to end. Hopefully at some point in time, you know, we will get to a point where maybe they'll figure it out. I don't know. I see this as a means, though, for them to actually have a more dedicated monthly income revenue stream that they know what they're getting instead of the one-off plugins. Because like I said, yet again, from a business standpoint, I sell courses. Some months I sell no courses. Some months I sell 5 or 6 courses. In fact, all of my courses are $5 right now. If you want to go over to the website, you can get any of my courses for $5, or you can pay whatever you'd like. You can check that link in the description if you'd like to learn more about that, or you can follow this link right here. Shameless promotion. but I'm in need of the money. So, Daniel Godet. Hey, hope I said that last name correct. And Jackie Daniel. Good to see you guys. As a Mercury Plus Studio Classics Plus Inspire Virtual Instruments Collection license owner, I think it's a pretty bad corporate decision. It really is. You know, that's a really good point, Mob. I mean, yeah, it's the same problem with a different coat of paint. Is what he's saying. Does it work if the amount they bring in is almost nothing? Hey, Joe, what's up? Another first timer, man. We got you guys are piling in today. That's awesome. So that's a good point. Cause I mean, a lot of people are not going to like this. And you know, you have the timing as well. Like, let's take into consideration the timing of this as well. Okay. So they rolled this out during a time when the economy is junk, everybody is struggling, and they rolled it out at a time when everyone is so uncertain about change. Like, no one has been more uncertain about change than now. People are so scared of change because of all the stuff that just happened with lockdowns and everything else. And then all of a sudden, like, everything just keeps changing, like forcing people to grab their proverbial blankie and be like, no, I don't want the change anymore. I'm done. I just want constancy. So, Big One Tower, man, we got some Baka edits. That's true. He says, my problem with subscription is you don't own it. You just rent it. Very good point. Let's put that up on the screen so other people can read that. Sorry, I took them off the screen a minute ago. So yeah, it's kind of like, you know, renting a home. You don't really own it. You're just renting it. So there are 37 folks up in here. Good night, Irene. You guys rock. Thanks for stopping by today. We do currently have 20 likes though, so smash that like button. And what I would like to do is, while you guys are in here, let's go ahead and have a giveaway. Okay. There's lots of people out here that are selling subscriptions, and myself included. So I'm not knocking it. But let's go ahead and have a giveaway. Let's give away a trial of the VIP membership. So let's give away a free month of the VIP membership. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think I've tried to test this out already, and you don't have to put in any credit card information whatsoever. I'm almost positive. You just simply sign up. You get a month's worth of access. At the end of that month, you're done. Like, there's no charge to anything. It just gives you literally a trial. So if I'm wrong, please in the chat, let me know. But I'm almost positive that's how it works. So let's give away a free month of VIP. The way that you can do that is, for the next 3 minutes, enter in !, capital H, capital S, capital S. That stands for Home Studio Simplified, in case you didn't know. And that will give you an entry into the drawing to win a free month of VIP membership access. If you're wondering what that is all about, basically it's a ton of free multi-tracks that you can add to your portfolio. It's all of my raw track reaction videos with commercial free. It is a bunch of free tutorials that come there, downloads. It's a community of awesome people. It's a really cool thing. You want to check that out. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 Hey, I know I didn't say that one right, but I'm giving you a round of applause for being a first timer. Thank you so much for being here today. Let me make sure that you guys are actually getting into the drawing. Yes. So as of right now, I've got everything computer is in. Joe Delike, 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Hope I'm saying that right. You guys are in. Entries are still open for another 1 minute and 45 seconds. Raymond Collins just got in there. Hey, Raymond. Good to see you, buddy. Another first timer. Awesome. So in the chat section, while we're kind of waiting for all of these to come in, I know that you guys have been really giving your opinions here in the chat. Thank you so much for that, by the way. I wanted to kind of put my finger on the pulse of the rest of the community to see exactly how you guys are feeling about this. And if, with your permission, I'd actually like to include your comments in a video that I'm going to release soon, where I'm going to kind of break this down and sort of make it more of a static video. But I wanted to go live to sort of cover this now because it's still sort of a hot topic. Yeah, I'll probably release that pretty soon. All right, we got 50 seconds now before the giveaway will be closed. And here I am bashing a subscription service, and I'm giving away a monthly membership to a subscription service. But I guarantee it's worth more than plugins that need to update it all the time. In fact, we're updating that all the time with stuff that's awesome. H Rocks, what is up, brother? Awesome. So it looks like we are coming to a close. You will own nothing and be happy about it. Nah, I'm cool. I like knowing I have something on hand. I want to know what something is going to cost and not perpetually pay for it. Hey, man, I like that. Awesome. So, hey, thank you so much, Mark George. I greatly appreciate that, brother. Greatly appreciate that. Actually, that should have, by all rights, that should have lit the room up like a disco ball. And it did not. Maybe it's on a delay here. Oh, there it went. I was just checking on it and there it went. This is what I mean by that, by the way. When you drop a super chat, this is what happens to the room. So thank you, Mark, for lighting up the room. I say like a disco ball. That's more like a nebula. We got some nebula action going on in here. No more Black Friday plugin deals, right? I know. That stinks. It actually increases my expenses by more than 2 times for 2 computers, since with my current investment, I can run my plugins on 2 PCs or Macs with an updated WP, Waves Update Program. Ooh, yeah, I never thought of it like that. I wish they would have said that prior to taking all of our money for the update plans. Right, right. Mousequake, good to see you, man. Man, you guys are bringing up some really good points here. Wow. Yeah, you guys are bringing up some really good points here. That's awesome. What scent are your candles? This one here is actually a mocha. So it's kind of like a coffee, sort of vanilla-y blend. So there are no questions left unanswered. I won't buy anything from Waves again. I don't like the model. I may go back to hardware at least. I will own it. Ooh, that's a good point. This might be a boon for hardware again. We might go back to all these people that have been saying, I mix in the box only. They're going to end up saying, I mix out of the box only. All right, I'm going to turn off the nebula here so we can get that out of my eyes. All right, let's go ahead and see who won the giveaway real quick here. That's the wrong page there. Okay. Congratulations, Joe Dalk. I am probably butchering your name, brother. I am so sorry. But congratulations to you. You just won a free month's membership, a VIP trial, if you will. Thank you so much. All you have to do is simply send me an email to homestudiosimplified@gmail.com, or you can send that to robert@homestudiosimplified.com. Awesome. DJ Big Red 81, what is up? He's all up in the chat again. Long E at the end. Oh, 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀. I probably butchered it again. Sorry, John. Joe. John. I'm just, nah. Thank you. I was beginning to wonder about this, those, ourselves. What? Okay. Will be interesting if any of the famous names waves used for plugins will have any opinion about the new subscription plan. Honestly, I think they're kind of locked in to where I could be wrong, but I don't think they're allowed to have opinions because they're being paid probably a handsome sum. Make mixing again. Oh, that was right. 𝗕𝗏𝗀𝗀. Nice. Good deal. Well, congratulations, Joe. You won yourself a free month's membership, and you're going to see a lot of people here in the chat today are in that membership, and there's some awesome people. So if there are ads that pop up during this stream, it's something that I don't have control of when it happens. I just kind of know when one is coming. Like right now it's saying in 40 seconds, there's going to be an ad pop up for you guys. My apologies. I got to pay the bills somehow. So with that being said, thank you guys for weighing in on this topic, on this subject, for letting me know what you think of it. I'm grateful that you guys weighed in on this as well with me. I gave my 2 cents about it. It was kind of like we was all hanging out. And speaking of hangouts, if you join the VIP membership, we do have a great way to hang out in there where everybody can kind of talk at once. It's kind of cool. He's on Waves, or he's on YouTube Premium, so good deal. Yeah, I know. I agree with you, DJ. It's like they knew this was coming. So for them to do that sale and then do this, it's like, really, guys? So it was very underhanded, I believe. Not something that I thought was very cool. Hope it's not a Waves commercial. That's funny. Awesome. So before we get out of here, if you do want to sign up for this, there are links in the description where you can go and check that out. It's totally up to you. If it makes sense for you, then it makes sense for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not here to sell you one way or the other. However, what I am here to do is to let you know. You got a Waves ad. No, you're kidding me. That's crazy. What I am here to do, though, is to help to get you to producing better music. And one way that I can do that is by selling you some courses for $5. Okay, so my ultimate Cakewalk by BandLab tutorial course comes with multi-tracks. It's got 20 different modules. It's a huge course. It's sold on the ProMix Academy by the likes of Warren Hewart over at the ProMix Academy for $67. You're going to get it on my site for $5, or you can choose to pay whatever you would like. Also, all of my courses right now are $5 in a special to get them however you would like. And just sort of a heads up, in order to cut back on costs so that I can stay afloat, I probably will be including a lot of the stuff that's on that store page is going to go away. It will all be included. A lot of it will be included within the VIP membership. I'm going to try to move everything to that because, like I said, from a business standpoint, I get the membership side of things, but if you're not really providing any value or you're just providing updates, it doesn't make sense. What I intend to do is to keep providing value as well as tutorials and, one-on-ones, mixing contests, stuff like that. So for me, it makes sense. For Waves, I think they did you guys dirty. They did me dirty. Yeah, I don't know. Mousequake, what is up, brother? He says, I'm an official BandLab music reviewer. Cool. Awesome. Be good to have you inside that community, man. In fact, if you would like to reach out to me via email, maybe we could even talk about a little collaboration together. That'd be awesome. If we have a VIP membership, should we buy courses or should we wait? So the courses that you'll get free inside the VIP membership is the Mixing Desert Blues with 𝗬𝗏 𝗧𝗵𝗲. If you've ever heard of Hit the Road Music Studio, he's an awesome individual. He created a course for us within the VIP membership. You'll get that one free, as well as Mob the Gamer's Mixing Modern Vocals will be yours for free. You also get a series of core tutorials for free. Actually, you know what? I'll just pull it up. Why don't I just pull it up so you guys can see what you get? That would make more sense, right? Let me log in sort of here on the back end so I don't have to remember passwords for stuff, because I can barely remember my own name half the days. Okay. And view that bad boy. Okay, so if you were to sign up for the VIP membership, this is exactly what your dashboard would look like. You have a community section here where you can jump over to the communities tab. And within here, you have sort of like a Facebook group, only better. So you have a general discussion, an area where you can introduce yourself. And based off of how you interact and how much you interact, you can actually get on the leaderboard. Those who are on the leaderboard will be eligible for giveaways and stuff like that. We're going to have in the near future. If you go back to your dashboard, though, you can actually see all of your tutorials. So if we click on core training, how to get pro level vocals, part 1, 2, and 3, listening levels. We talk about the 𝗬𝗄𝗏 curve and how loud you should be listening to your mixes. A singing lesson with Mark Crowder, creating clarity in a mix, and gospel drums. This is sort of the first iteration of that. We're going to be having more of those roll out soon. And yes, you get to keep it, not rent it. So once you buy it, it's yours. Good point, Mark, especially with everything we've been talking about. Also in the tutorial section, you have a vocal editing speed hack, mixing desert blues, the 3 reverb bus setup explained, recording and mixing djembe, best practices with Hit the Road music from 𝗬𝗏 yet again. And you also have mixing modern vocal mixing secrets, which is an excellent, very short tutorial, but man, it is so like on point, just gets right to the point. So you'll have that. If we go back to our categories, here's the analysis section. So all of my raw track reactions that I've done on YouTube are here. Over 60 videos, commercial free, with an extra 10 to 15 minutes of me sort of analyzing and breaking them down, talking about how we can add that then to our productions. We have a mixed critique section. These are individuals who have hired me for a mixed critique, which is basically a $50 fee. You send me your mix. I will then listen to it, give you video feedback, and even if you send me like a bun file or the multi-tracks, I can even kind of give you some pointers on how to make it sound better that way as well. So it's sort of like a take you by the hand and show you what to do with your mix, like a mix rescue. I think there's a couple other people that do something similar. Then your bonus section, there's an EQ cheat sheet, mixing bass simplified, my 15-step mixing process, 7 tips for a better mix. Now these are all downloads that you get to keep forever, by the way. My mix templates for Pro Tools, FL Studio, Reaper, Studio One. Thank you, DJ Big Red 81, for putting those together for us. Cubase 12 and Ableton Live 11. So I have a Pro Start template that I use for my DAW Cakewalk, but you can actually get access to a similar mix template in any DAW that you're using, pretty much, at least all the more popular ones. Then if you scroll down here, you can actually become an affiliate, and for every course that you lead somebody to, which right now, when the courses are $5, you might not make much, but if you sign up to become an affiliate, for every course of mine that you sell, every membership of mine that you sell, whatever it might be that you lead people to, you make a commission off of that. So it's like becoming an affiliate of my channel. Then you have exclusive discounts. If you're a Cakewalk user, here's the PDF manual for using that, my reverb and delay calculator. There's a session player sign up list where if you play an instrument, you can sign up as a session player. And then there's a session player request list. So if you're on a project and you want to use someone within the VIP membership, it's a great way to help support one another with projects. And the list is pretty exhaustive. I don't want to go too far into it here because I'm going to end up showing email addresses. Oops. With that being said, you'll go on there, and these are individuals who have willingly given their email address, how much they would charge for a track, and you can go in there. Some of them are even free. Like they just want to do it for fun. Here's a huge list of free plugins, and you can actually find that within the Discord as well. And then here is a huge list of multi-tracks for portfolio usage. And as you can see, there's a ever-growing list in here of multi-tracks that you can practice with and use. And then there's samples, and these are provided by BandLab, actually. So you can go here and check those out. Now, those samples you can get without VIP membership access. So nothing special about that, but I included it in there because I'm also a BandLab affiliate. I say affiliate, but they're not really paying me, so I don't know what that means. But yeah. So apart from this, I also, before we go, need to make you aware of the fact that another awesome plugin company that's not doing people dirty is 𝗖𝗍 Multimedia. Now, right now, if you go to, oops. Right now, if you go to, here we go. Working on a new song. Wouldn't that be something? Lord knows you all don't want to hear that. If you go to the link that I just posted in the chat, I'm also hosting here in just a few short days a live mixing mastering class, okay? Where we're going to take a song from start to finish, mix it, master it. It's going to be 3 hours long with some intermissions in between. You get to ask questions, and everybody that signs up for this, that chooses to pay for the masterclass, you're also going to get a free plugin from 𝗖𝗍 Multimedia, the one mastering processor. So all you have to do is simply hit register today at the bottom of that page. You can either pay in full, or I have a 2-pay or a 3-pay plan, and that will start in 39 days. So you got time to prep for that. It is a little bit higher of a price tag, but I guarantee you it's going to replace a full semester of audio school just in 3 hours. And if you don't get the results that you're wanting, you don't feel like you got any value out of it, I will refund you your money. No questions asked. Okay, so I think I've done enough of salesmanship there today. Thank you guys so much for weighing in on this with me, for being here today. I appreciate each and every one of you. There's something else that we need to do before we go, though. And for those of you who have been on the channel for very long, you know exactly where this is leading. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to spin the wheel of awesomeness. That's right. When Robert spins the wheel, it's a big deal. Yeah, I said that. That one just kind of rolled off my tongue, just kind of rolling with it there. All right, let's spin this bad boy. Let's see what happens. Because we're goofy around here. Why not? Ooh, little known fact. It's barely on, but it is on a little known fact. So, some of the little known facts that we talked about. Oh, thank you, Daniel, for asking the question. Is this included with the VIP membership, or is it separate? Do you mean the Wheel of Awesomeness? Because we can include it in there. We do have... Nice. Yes, the Masterclass. Got you. Yes, the Masterclass is a separate, it's a one-time, one-off kind of thing. So we're going to talk about a little known fact about Robert. So, I feel like for those of you that have been here, I feel like I've told you pretty much everything in my life. But this one is actually relatively new. It's recent. So, I actually had, I should say I'm actually working on right now. So I've got this idea that's sort of been cooking for a long time. And that is, this is totally off topic, guys. So just bear with me here because I like being off topic. I have for the longest time wanted to help people who are struggling with drug addiction and struggling with depression, anxiety, alcoholism. And just last night during our service, I felt as if there was some clarity brought to that situation. And so I approached my pastor about it. Help me pray about this, guys. But I am really, really thinking of just diving headlong into some sort of being like a rehabilitation coach. Now, I've been, as of August this year, I will be 20 years free and clean from drug addiction, from alcoholism, and really, I mean, like deep, dark depression. 20 years. And I feel like that I came through all of that for a reason. And I want to share that with other individuals, my story, my struggles, how I can possibly help them. So, little known fact about me, for those of you who have been around the channel for very long, you already know this. It's not really a little known fact to you, but I actually was a full-blown alcoholic at 15. I was hooked on drugs from the time I was 13 until the time I was 21. And I'm not just talking like some drugs. I'm talking like I was hooked on a lot of stuff. And through the strange course of events, I had a come to Jesus moment, literally. And in one day, all of that addiction, alcoholism was completely taken away from me. And I want to share that with others. I want to be a guiding light to someone to let them know, like, hey, there's more to life than drugs and alcohol. There's more to life than just trying to escape life itself. So, little known fact about me. If you did not know that, now you know. If you didn't want to know it, too bad, now you know. But with that being said, help me pray about that, because I really feel like Joe says I'll be a year free of addiction in May, not substance abuse. So I think it's awesome. Awesome, man. A year. Dude, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's a long time. Like, people don't understand, for an addict, like, being off of stuff for like a couple of days is a big deal. But being off of for a year, dude, that's amazing. Yeah, that deserved an applause. So definitely. But yeah, just if you guys could just sort of, you know, say a prayer for me in your spare time and help me so that the Lord will open up the right doors and that I'll meet the right people. I know that we have to put together some kind of a curriculum. I'm sorry we have 2 children we have to deal with. Amen. I'm sorry we have 2 children we had to deal with. I'm not sure what you meant by that, but okay. Maybe you couldn't be on the stream because of children. I'm not sure. Well, thank you, Mousequake. I greatly appreciate that. So yeah, that's a little known fact about me. Maybe there's probably plenty of you in the chat that's like, yeah, Robert, we know. It's one of those stories I can't quit telling, though. I love telling people how I was converted. But with that being said, so the little known fact today that ties into that is that hopefully, by the grace of God, I'm going to be able to open some doors to hopefully bring, oh, okay, cool. Wow, man. 2 children that had to deal with, oh man. Dude, I will definitely be helping you pray about that. And I feel like maybe, thank you, Jeremiah. I greatly appreciate that. You guys are awesome. So supportive. I love this community. But I feel like maybe this is sort of like why things are kind of being shook up right now, financially for me and for my wife. For those of you maybe who do not know, the reason why I'm selling my courses at $5 is to hopefully make enough money to cover the taxes from last year. Otherwise, we might have to take some more drastic measures and start closing down shop, so to speak. Not forever, but maybe just for a while until we can get back on our feet. But not boohooing on anybody's shoulder, but I feel like maybe that's why some of this stuff has kind of been happening, why the shaking has been happening, simply because maybe the Lord's been preparing me to walk by faith and not by sight. And maybe he's been trying to get my attention, and this is one of the good ways to do that. So, but yeah, I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for stopping by the stream today. Thank you all so much for weighing in on your thoughts on the Waves Update plan. I don't know how we got here, but we did. It's cool. That stuff happens all the time. But yeah, you all have a blessed day. Thank you so much yet again for stopping by. I think I've said that about 100 times, but I mean it. None of this would be even worth going live or even, spitting in the wind, so to speak, if you guys weren't here to share in this with me. And I'd love to be able to, within the VIP membership, I'd love to be able to sort of start having more of these live where we can actually bring people on and have open dialogue. That would be cool too. So yeah, for those of you who are interested in anything that I spoke of in this stream, all the links to everything I talked about are in the description. So if you're still, after the stream is over, you're like, he mentioned something about a masterclass. What's that about? It's in the description. He mentioned something about $5 courses. What's that all about? It's in the description. He mentioned something about the Waves update plan. What's that all about? It's in the description if you want to go. So, all right, guys. I'm subscribed with the bell on and still no notifications. What is going on? That is not cool. Yeah, you definitely should have got a notification. So, yes, Mark, everyone, please keep smiling. Keep your heads up and realize that even though at the darkest hour of your day, that it's always the darkest right before the dawn. All right, Lai. Until next time, remember, you guys can probably finish this for me, but we can dream alone. We can even create alone, but together we can achieve so much more. God bless you guys.